Good morning, Hellhounds. It's me, Hades, and you are watching The Morning Tea with me. It's been a while since I've done one of these episodes, and usually there's just something that immediately triggers me in the morning, and then I'm like, okay, rather than posting a million and one comments on Facebook, I'm just going to go live. And I'm going to talk about the things that I see on the interwebs. Social media is always in a state of triggering people, I know, right? But I'm vocal about it. But I was thinking a little bit more about it, and I didn't want to... Oh, let me know if the music is way too loud, because I'm trying new sounds here. And it helps me if I have something to listen to in the background. But I don't want that to overpower being able to hear the content. And before I get started, before I forget, it's time to take my daily dose of slut pills, including PrEP and some other stuff. So I haven't done that yet. So if you, look, y'all, know your status, get tested. If you're not on PrEP, get on PrEP. U equals U. Let's get that PSA out of the way. Go get tested. And yes, I'm drinking Gatorade simultaneously with Dunkin' iced coffee. It's a thing. All right. So let's get to the thoughts. And if you're watching, say hello. I see you creeping. Say hello. Say good morning. I know it's early, but have some manners. I'm just kidding. I'm just teasing. Okay, so here's what I wanted to talk about. If you are friends with me on Facebook, then you may have seen a post that I created about Aurora Pride. And let me just recap what's the deal with Aurora Pride. Aurora Pride was this past weekend. And Pride organizers throughout the country have made public statements to, in unison, to say that the police are not welcome at Pride events. So let me clarify what that means. Once an event gets to a certain scale, usually law enforcement are there in attendance as public safety. That's not what we're talking about. What we're talking about is their involvement as a participant, whether that's a vendor or walking in the parade or this, that, and the other. So all these major Pride organizations stated that they were not going to allow law enforcement to participate, except for Aurora Pride, who stated that we're not going to exclude anybody. And I'm not going to get into the conversation about whether police belong at Pride or not, because throughout, I guess the epiphany for me today wasn't a validation of why I think that they shouldn't belong there, but more so like what it means for me to kind of check my own privilege. And I hope that I can explain this in a way that makes a lot of sense. So essentially, there was a comment on one of my posts that said it's time to move on, right? It's time to move on. You know, stop making police at Pride such a big deal. Time to move on. And the reason why that upset me so much is like, how can you? It was so effortless, that mindset to say that we need to move on past the violence that has been wreaking havoc on the Black and brown community for so long, so that we can enjoy a party. And what made me upset is that when we as a community can't come together to say that violence is wrong and we make exceptions, it reinforces this ideology that that we need to just brush it underneath the carpet and go about our daily lives. It's almost the way what we see with school shootings, right? Like thoughts and prayers and then move on, and then the next school shooting happens months later. And I just don't understand how people aren't tired of that. But more importantly, I realized why that comment impacted me so much. And that's kind of why I'm saying, like, checking my personal privilege, checking my personal privilege. I was raised by a military family. I was raised on military bases by a white step-parent with, half white siblings in white predominant neighborhoods. I educated myself, and my workforce experience has been predominantly around white people. And my experience has not been that of a Latino person or a brown person in a way. My experience has been as a queer person. And because I immersed myself in that community, because that's what felt safe for me. Like, I didn't want to be, like, I built my identity on the queer community. Like, that's where I felt safe. That's where I found love. That's where I found friends. And my identity has been built on my queerness. And why this entire, oh my God. My mother's accent is coming out. She's like a New York Puerto Rican. I said Puerto Rican because I was thinking Boricua and Puerto Rico. Anyways, so it's still morning. So anyways, my identity was built on the queer community, which is, like, we can go into like how white the queer community and like queer identity is in itself. But like, it usually, like, I don't recognize my own race until somebody slaps me in the face with it. And that is privilege. And if you don't understand how that is privilege, I will break it down. Don't worry. Privilege is being able to go throughout life without having something impact you, right? Privilege is, I can walk down the street with my partner holding hands because I'm not worried about violence. I'm not worried about being ridiculed or shamed. We call that heterosexual privilege. Or even like if you're a queer like partnership in, a metropolitan city, and you don't have to worry about hecklers or anything like that, that could be a privilege in itself. Right? So privilege is being able to go throughout life without something directly impacting you, because it doesn't. Hi, Alfie. Good morning. Bow wow wow. Why is that so small? I changed all my shit, so like things are like all over the place. Sorry. Let me move you. So I have been able to go through most of my adult life with this privilege of, like, it sounds so fucking backwards, right? Having this racial privilege, and maybe there's some colorism mixed in there, but I don't remember oftentimes that I'm a Latino person until somebody slaps me in the face with it. And this is one of those comments that was like, slapped me in the face, right? Because it was so easy to say it's time to move on, and that these violent crimes that happen against brown people just don't matter in comparison to this wonderful, beautiful, happy-go-lucky party, right? And it made me feel like queer people will set aside their advocacy work and their activism when it comes to their own personal enjoyment. and that it's easy to forget brown and black people that have been martyred, but like, in order to enjoy a party, but like whenever a little white boy is fucking murdered, then we're gonna, and this is not like, I'm saying this as a like partially still angry person, so I'm not belittling the amount of social improvements that have been made because of things like the Matthew Shepard Foundation. But you honor their memory in a different way than you respect the deaths of black and brown people. And it doesn't impact me until I'm reminded of it, right? As a Latino person. And to come to the realization that it doesn't impact our white queer siblings at all is very frustrating. Like, I was taking my partner to work today, and like as I'm processing all of this, like I kind of broke down and I started crying, because I was like, no matter what I do today, whatever I build in this community, whatever I contribute to this community today and the next year, someone will say, if I was murdered by the police tomorrow, somebody will say, it's time to move on this time next year. And that, as sad as that is, like, it's just a matter of fact. And I don't know what we can do as a community to really to change that, except for grow some fucking empathy, right? And that kind of perspective creates resentment within BIPOC people. And if you're watching and you're a brown person, maybe you can, like, you know, after so many times of like being disregarded and dismissed and unaccounted for by our white queer siblings, like, we start to build resentment. Like, we don't want to be around y'all. We're like quick to make jokes about white people and da. And it's generational resentment as well. Like, our moms, our grandparents, our blah blah blah, all have this generational resentment from the trauma that we've experienced as communities. But it's just so fucking quick and easy for people to be like, let's just hop onto the next Pride Festival. Let's hop onto the next party. And that's why I'm upset. You know, I'm not even, like, I'm more upset that that's the attitude and the doctrine, that it didn't, like, to me, it doesn't even matter at this point that, like, I'm less of, like, impacted by the police actually being there than I am by the mindset of this community at times. I'm gonna, like, take a moment to, like, collect my thoughts and drink some Dunkin'. And oh shit, this is a party foul. I did not grab my pen, and I'm like, I need something to smoke right now. It's just it's, you know, it's, I'm trying not to get emotional, because, like, what it makes me feel is that I want to, I don't know, like, I said, the funny thing was, like, after I dropped my partner off from or during when I'm taking him to work, I was like, if you're the only white person I see today, I would be a happy person. And like, I'm supposed to like film today. He's like, you're probably going to film with a white person today. I'm like, oh, God damn it. You're right. Because there's only white people around here. So I'm probably going to have angry sex with a white person later. I am going to be a top today. Jesus Christ. Yeah, I want to really like, and the only thing that I can think of, like what I can do to change to add a little bit of empathy, is by elevating other voices in this community, because those voices are still being drowned out. Like queer BIPOC voices are still being just like disregarded. We get a little bit of screen time. There's a little bit of like recognition, but like on the everyday shit, like the things like, and it's always the things that people think don't really matter, like Aurora Pride or this event or that event, that's where we're silenced, right? Because it's really easy for a community to crowd around like Martin Luther King Day or Black Pride or like these events or these celebrations or these movements or these rallies. But when it comes down to doing the work every day, I think I'm going to go out on a limb here, and I just think that white people get exhausted very easily because they're not accustomed to that being their lived experience. Like, you have to recognize that as a white person, you are not experiencing this on a nearly daily level like we are as people of color. And so we have a little bit more of endurance to keep like talking about this daily. Y'all just get like, oh, this is so exhausting. It's time to move on. And like, and again, going back to the subject of like, I need to check my privileges. Like, I don't even feel it as much as I used to. Like when I lived in a predominantly white, like straight area, and I didn't have the ability to surround myself with queer people, like, yeah, this is something that impacted me almost every fucking day. The moment that I could then cultivate, moving to a big city and cultivate the people that I actually interact with, then it changed. Then I was just like one of the gay boys, right? Or as I was just that pup or blah, blah, blah. Until, you get the random, Grindr message that says, oh, you're a spick, you're a wetback, you're, this, that, and the other. So what I would like you to do is just take a few minutes to reflect about like your own privilege and how it impacts other people. I know it sucks. There were a few moments here over the past couple of weeks as we were kind of building up to Aurora Pride. I'm like, well, maybe like I can, see it from like both sides and and maybe it would be fun to go. Sometimes the hard decision is sometimes just not doing something. Right? It's like, oh, that looks fun. Gays and they're fucking fun. Like, that's woe is me. I can't, like, I shouldn't morally go to this party. And that's why I wrote the whole thing, like, if you went to Aurora Pride, I don't want to hear you bitching about chicken sandwiches, because it's so, we like to pick and choose, right? Oh, we're all about inclusion and diversity, I'm not gonna I'm gonna rag on everybody who eats Chick-fil-A, but I'm gonna watch RuPaul's Drag Race. Right? By the way, I do watch RuPaul's Drag Race. Guilty pleasure. And up until this year, I did eat Chick-fil-A because I was just like, fuck y'all. I've come around. Don't worry, I've come around. But I mean, that's my, and I know it's like, here's the thing. No matter how much consciousness that you put behind your actions, we're going to fuck up. Right? Not all of us are economically empowered to not buy at Amazon or some of these other retailers that don't have the best track record of, being on team LGBTQ. A lot of us don't have the economic empowerment to buy an electric vehicle. And so we have to get a gas-powered vehicle. And where do you think our gas comes from? And what do you think happens in some of the regions of this planet? Right? Oh, thanks. Oh, shit. What the fuck? Hold on. Let me fix you. Hachi. Oh, thank you. I have been really working on my shit here. I want to get back into absolutely doing this because this is something that I enjoy doing, and so thank you. It's really, really appreciated. All right, so at the end of the day, here's the thing. I am not going to fault. I'm also super tired of the super woke culture, and I'm sorry if that comes off as offensive, but I don't know what else to call it. There is a part of the community that expects perfection, that expects you to know, where your clothes come from, this, that, and the other, and will cancel you the moment that you step out of that box or out of that line. And I'm telling you that I know that it's very difficult. And woke versus envy. Yeah. Oh, somebody watched ContraPoints. Oh, it was. Can we talk about ContraPoints? Can we talk about how that was such a fucking amazing and insightful episode? Just gold. And I actually did a lot of personal work after watching that video. I realized how envy was really clouding, I was very angry at a lot of people because here's what I'm going to say. There is some truth to this statement. People of color will always have to work harder to gain accomplishments or recognition or visibility compared to their white counterparts. That being said, I was envious of a lot of people, and I was letting that toxicity come into my work. And I think that during this time where I'm, still trying to rediscover or reinvent myself, essentially, not even rediscover. I am essentially trying to reinvent myself right now because I feel like I've been given a second opportunity. Now, kind of I don't want to say sober. Since I've quit drinking, because I'm definitely doing other shit. I've said this a million times. I'm not living that sober lifestyle. But alcohol is not my friend. So it's given me the opportunity to reinvent myself and possibly change the minds of people how they saw me before. Whatever. Where was I going with this? I lost it. It's gone. Thank you, ContraPoints. Natalie for the win. Didn't. God, I want my pen right now. I left it in the bathroom. And if I stand up right now, y'all see my horrible underwear, which is some Walmart very long, straightish undies, but whatever. The difference is, what she didn't mention is that personally, I'm okay with being a POC, with envious of white privilege because those options are not available. Yeah, agree. Okay, so I'm not crazy. Okay, I'm not crazy. Yeah, like, here's the thing. I think it's. I also think it is about positioning, though. I think that Actually, no, I disagree with what I was about to say. God, I'm all over the place. Let me table that for another conversation. Anyways, so in summary, I just want people to be a little bit more conscious. Like, that's all that we can ever do. And to also, like, listen. Listening is so fucking difficult to do. Listening, like, for anybody. No one's fucking perfect. I'm not perfect. So, I don't know. That's my morning rant. I don't even know if I have, like, a conclusion to this shit. I just wanted to share, like, what I'm going through. And maybe you can take something from it. Maybe you don't. Maybe you're like, fuck this shit. Why did I listen to this for the last half hour? If you didn't watch the last live stream that we did on Saturday with Atlas Cummings, that is out. I'm going to be posting that to YouTube, I think, today. And I've realized that Saturdays is not the best time to go live for me. So, oh yes, Hades, The View, yes, I'm so here for it. We need to get, Hachi, let's do it. So I'm going to be reestablishing Sunday streams, Sunday 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. I'm working, I don't think I'm going to have one this Sunday because I will be up in the mountains and coming back that day. So, and I don't have a topic prepared, so probably looking at the following Sunday. But it is just going to be us query people chatting about different things, our experiences, and this, and the other. So if you have an idea, if you want to be on, if you want to just chat, just let me know. Like, I would love to get the. We did a polyamory live stream. Oh God, almost 2 years ago. A lot of people before I stopped doing this consistently said, like, we should do that again. So I really want to, like, get back into those waters and figure out some other stuff. But I'm not going to take much more of your morning. Thanks, y'all, for just tuning in and to listening to me and saying hello. I love you all. Thank you so much for the support. There's going to be some new content on the adult site, so make sure you go to thepuphades.com if you're not subscribed and get on all the socials, huns. So, and I think I'm going to try to do today. I don't know yet, but I'm going to try to make an Instagram reel today. I think I'm going to try to channel some positive energy and recenter myself after the caucasity of this morning. And I think I'm going to try to make a Instagram reel today. We'll see. But anyways, if you're just now joining, watch the replay later. I love you all. And until next time, aroo.